Get ready for a deep dive, everyone. Today we are taking a look at the Oxford 5000, and more specifically, words 1081 through 1110 from Group 37.
Yeah. What's so cool about this is that these words, they might seem kind of random at first, but they can actually unlock a whole new level of fluency and expression.
Exactly. And we're not just going to throw definitions at you and call it a day.
Nope.
We're going to give you vivid examples that will stick in your brain, help you remember these words and how to use them like a pro.
That's right. It's like building a mental picture for each word. So much more effective than just, rote memorization.
Totally. So are you ready to get started?
Let's dive in.
Okay. First up, we have litter.
Litter.
Now, when I hear litter, I automatically think about trash on the sidewalk or, a messy park.
Yeah, that's definitely the common image. But litter can actually describe any collection of objects that are scattered around in a messy way. So think about a room after a wild party or a desk covered in papers and coffee mugs. It's really about a lack of order and tidiness.
Oh, I see. So it's not limited to just physical trash. It could be anything that's kind of just strewn about in a disorganized way.
Exactly. So it's more about the arrangement of things, or rather, the disarrangement.
That makes sense. So how about some examples to help us really see litter in action?
Okay. Imagine an archaeologist carefully brushing away dirt, and they reveal a site that is littered with ancient coins and pottery shards. Or picture a forest floor after the autumn, and it's just littered with colorful leaves, right? The beautiful tapestry of colors. It can even be something like an email inbox, just littered with spam messages.
Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for it now. It's like you said, painting a picture with the word, so we can see beyond that initial, the first thing that comes to mind.
Right, because one word can be so versatile, can be used in so many different situations.
Okay, on to the next word, liver. And I can't help but think about those kind of creepy diagrams from biology class.
Yeah, the liver, we all learned about it. It's a vital organ that does a ton of work behind the scenes, right? Filtering toxins from your blood.
Keeping everything running smoothly. So how would we use liver in a sentence?
So let's say someone is not feeling well, and the doctor thinks, their liver might be damaged. Or you might read an article about how, a balanced diet is essential for a healthy liver. And then if you're feeling adventurous in the kitchen, you might even try foie gras. That's made from duck or goose liver.
Oh, interesting. I've heard of that, but I didn't actually know what it was.
Yeah, it's a delicacy.
Okay, on to the next word. We have lobby. Now I'm picturing a fancy hotel lobby with chandeliers and plush armchairs.
Oh, yeah, that classic image. But lobby can also be a verb. It's not just a noun. And then it's all about persuasion, right? Those groups that try to influence politicians or companies to change their policies, they're actively lobbying for what they believe in.
Oh, so it's like they're saying, hey, listen to us. We have a good idea, but they're doing it in a more strategic way.
Exactly. It's not just shouting from the rooftops. There's a method to it.
Okay, so give us some examples of lobby in action.
Absolutely. So imagine environmental activists, right? They are lobbying the government to pass stricter laws to protect endangered species. Yeah. Or a group of parents lobbying the school board. They want healthier lunch options for their kids. And then you could even have, employees lobbying their company. They want better working conditions.
Oh, I see. So it's really about trying to bring about change through, organized effort.
Exactly. It's a collective effort to influence decision-making.
Okay. I'm liking this. Let's go on to our next word, log. When I hear log, I instantly think of fireplaces, crackling fires, cozy cabins.
Oh, yeah. That warm, cozy feeling. But log can also be a record of events or data, right? Like a captain keeps his ship's log. Or a computer tracking user activity. It's a record.
Oh. So it's like a detailed history of what's happened.
And capturing everything that happened.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. So can you give us some examples to kind of clarify?
Yeah. Think of a pilot, meticulously logging their flight hours. And any unusual occurrences during a journey? Or a website administrator checking the server logs. They're looking for suspicious activity. You can even keep a personal log, right? To track your progress towards like a fitness goal or something.
That's really interesting. I like that. It's like a way to keep track of things.
Yeah, it's a way to document and to analyze what's been happening.
Okay. I like it. Logic. This one sounds very academic to me, like something you'd hear in a philosophy class.
You're right. Logic is all about clear and sound reasoning, thinking things through step by step to arrive at conclusions that make sense.
So it's like solving a puzzle. But instead of pieces, you were using facts and arguments.
That's a good analogy. It's about putting the pieces together in a way that makes sense.
Okay, so how would you use logic in a sentence?
Okay, imagine a detective, right? Using logic to piece together clues, to solve a complex crime. Or you're reading an article, and you see that someone's argument just lacks logic. It can easily be debunked. And then, of course, computer programming relies heavily on logic to create functional software.
That makes sense. Okay. Logo. This one's pretty straightforward, right? I'm thinking of like those iconic symbols.
Yeah.
Like the Apple logo or the Nike swoosh.
Exactly. A logo is that visual shortcut to recognize a company or an organization. It's a powerful tool for branding.
Yeah. To create a memorable identity. And it's amazing how, like, you see a logo and you instantly know what it represents.
Yeah, like those iconic logos, they've become synonymous with the brands themselves.
Okay, so how about some examples of logo in a sentence?
Okay. A company might spend like a fortune designing a new logo. They want it to perfectly capture their brand essence. Or we can talk about how the Olympic rings are a globally recognized logo.
Right.
It represents the spirit of the games. And maybe you notice a really striking logo on a new product. And it makes you curious about it.
I like that. I feel like logos are so important in today's world, with so much visual information coming at us all the time.
It's true. A strong logo can really cut through the clutter and make a lasting impression.
Okay. Long-standing. This one seems pretty self-explanatory, like something that's been around for a long time. But I'm sure there's some nuances we can uncover.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just about something being old. It implies a duration that's significant and noteworthy. It could be a tradition that's been passed down through generations, or, a rivalry between two teams, or even a scientific theory that's stood the test of time.
Oh, so it's about things that have endured, that have a history behind them.
Exactly. They carry weight because of their longevity.
I like that. So can we hear some examples?
Okay. Think of two families, right? They're locked in a long-standing feud. And that animosity goes back decades. Or maybe a company celebrating a long-standing partnership with a supplier. They have years of trust and collaboration. You could even talk about a long-standing debate in academia where scholars have been grappling with a complex issue for centuries.
Wow, that's a long time to be debating something. It shows how some questions just never really go away.
Absolutely. Some issues are so complex that they continue to challenge us across generations.
Okay. Long time. Now, I'm curious about the difference between this and long-standing.
That's a great question. So while long-standing focuses on duration, long-time focuses more on a continuous connection or relationship. It could be a long-time friend or a long-time resident of a city, or even a long-time problem that's been plaguing a community.
Oh, so it's not just about the length of time, but the nature of the connection over that time?
Exactly. It highlights the continuity of the association or involvement.
That makes sense. Can you give us a few examples?
Okay, imagine you're interviewing a long-time employee, and they've witnessed the company's evolution over decades, right? Or you're reading this heartwarming story about longtime neighbors, and they've supported each other through thick and thin. And then, sadly, you might hear news reports about a region that's struggling with a long-time issue like poverty or unemployment.
Yeah, those are great examples. It really shows how long time emphasizes that enduring connection. Okay, what about loom? This one always makes me think of those giant mysterious machines that are used to weave tapestries.
Right. A loom is that weaving machine, but it can also describe something large or imposing that appears suddenly, often with a hint of threat or uncertainty.
Oh, so it has a slightly ominous vibe to it.
Yeah, like something looming on the horizon. You're not quite sure what it is, but it has your attention.
Okay, that's really interesting. So it's not just about the physical object of a loom, but this feeling of something imposing approaching.
Exactly. Like something big is about to happen.
I like that. So could you give us some examples to clarify this other meaning of loom?
Okay, picture this, right? A dense fog rolls in, and suddenly the skyscrapers are looming eerily through the mist. Or imagine hikers, right? They're trekking through a valley, and all around them, towering mountains are looming, making them feel small and vulnerable. You could even have like a deadline looming, creating that sense of urgency and pressure.
Okay, that makes sense. It's a really powerful word when you think about it like that.
It definitely has a way of grabbing your attention and making you pay attention to whatever is looming.
Okay, on to loop. The first thing that pops into my head is a loop-de-loop on a roller coaster.
That's a classic loop. A loop is a shape, of course, but it can also describe something that repeats or cycles continuously. Think about a song stuck on repeat, or a computer program that's caught in an endless loop.
Oh, so it's not just the physical shape, but the idea of something repeating over and over again.
Exactly. Whether it's physical or abstract, it's that continuous cycle.
Okay, I like that. Can we hear some example sentences to bring loop to life?
Sure. So imagine a video artist. They create this mesmerizing visual, right? And they do it by having a clip play on a continuous loop. Or maybe you're giving someone instructions on how to tie a secure knot, and you tell them to loop the rope tightly around the pole. And if you're driving in a city, you might encounter a traffic loop that diverts cars around a congested area.
That makes sense. Okay, lottery. I can't help but think about winning big and living a life of luxury.
It definitely taps into our dreams, right? Of overnight fortune. A lottery is all about chance and that possibility of a life-changing win, although the odds are usually stacked against you.
Yeah, it's that tantalizing mix of hope and luck that keeps people playing. Okay, so give us some examples of lottery in a sentence.
Okay, so you might hear a news story about someone winning millions in the lottery, and then the next day they quit their job. Or maybe you know someone who religiously buys a lottery ticket every week. They're hoping for that big break. And then, of course, there's the excitement and the anticipation surrounding the weekly lottery draw.
Absolutely. Okay, loyal. This is such an admirable quality, especially in a world where things can feel so fleeting.
It's true. Loyal describes someone who sticks by your side, right? Through thick and thin. It's about unwavering support and commitment.
Yeah, being there for someone no matter what. Give us some examples.
Okay, imagine a loyal friend. They defend you even when you're not around to defend yourself. Or maybe you read a story about a loyal pet, waiting patiently for their owner to return home every day. Yeah. And in the business world, companies really value loyal customers. They consistently choose their products or services over others.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Okay, up next, loyalty. This seems very closely related to loyal. Is it just noun form?
You got it. Loyalty is the quality itself. That unwavering dedication and faithfulness that makes relationships so special. It's about trust, reliability, and a deep sense of connection.
Okay, so it's like the essence of being loyal. Can we have some examples of loyalty in action?
Okay. Think of someone risking their own safety out of loyalty to a friend or family member. Or maybe you read about a company that rewards employee loyalty with generous benefits and perks. And sadly, you also might encounter situations where someone's loyalty is questioned or betrayed, which leads to, hurt and disappointment.
Oh, yeah. That's tough. Okay, lyric. This one I instantly think of song lyrics, the words that give music its emotional punch.
Exactly. Lyrics are the poetry of music. They can express everything. Joy, love, heartbreak, social commentary.
Yeah. It's amazing how they can be so moving and powerful, just a few words. Let's hear some examples of how we can use lyric in a sentence.
Okay, so you might talk about how the lyrics of a particular song, right? They perfectly capture a feeling you've been struggling to express. Or maybe you're reading an interview with a songwriter, and they describe their process for crafting meaningful lyrics. And then if you're feeling brave, you could even try writing your own lyrics.
Yeah, why not? Everyone's got a song in them somewhere. Okay, machinery. I'm thinking of a bustling factory. All sorts of gears turning and machines humming.
That's a great image. Machinery refers to the collection of machines used for a particular purpose, often emphasizing their complexity and their interconnectedness.
Oh, I see. So it's like a system of moving parts, all working together to achieve a specific goal.
That's a good way to put it. It's about the intricate workings of a complex system.
Okay, can we have some examples of machinery in action?
Yeah, so think about a construction site, right? Bustling with heavy machinery, excavating earth, lifting these massive materials. Or imagine a farmer relying on modern agricultural machinery to plant and harvest their crops efficiently. And of course, we can't forget about the intricate machinery that powers our cars and keeps us moving.
True. I don't think about that often enough.
Okay.
Magical. This word always transports me to, like, a world of fairy tales and endless possibilities.
It evokes wonder, doesn't it? Enchantment, suggesting something beyond the ordinary.
Yeah, something that captivates our imagination. So it's about experiences that make us believe in the extraordinary. Can we have some examples of magical in a sentence?
Absolutely. Think about witnessing a breathtaking sunset. It paints the sky in these vibrant hues, right? It's a truly magical moment.
Sure.
Or maybe you attend a live concert and the music, it just transports you to another realm. It leaves you feeling exhilarated and inspired. And of course, we can't forget the magical bond between a child and their beloved pet, filled with unconditional love and those playful adventures.
I love that. It's those moments that make life special. Okay, magistrate. This one sounds very official and serious to me.
It's a word that's definitely associated with law and order. A magistrate is a legal official who presides over court cases, particularly minor offenses or preliminary hearings.
So it's a specific role within the judicial system dealing with a particular type of legal matter.
Exactly. They have a specific set of responsibilities within the legal framework.
Can you give us some examples to clarify the role of a magistrate?
Sure. Imagine a person, right? They're appearing before a magistrate to contest a traffic ticket, and they're hoping to plead their case. Or you might see a news report that describes a magistrate issuing a warrant for a suspect's arrest based on evidence presented by the police. And you might even hear about a magistrate presiding over small claims court, where people seek resolution for, financial disputes.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Magnetic. Now, this one makes me think of magnets sticking to a refrigerator, but also of people who have that certain charisma, that draws others to them.
Yeah, you're picking up on the double meaning here. Magnetic describes both the literal force of attraction between magnets and the figurative power of someone's personality to captivate and intrigue others.
So it's about attraction, both physical and in terms of personality.
Exactly. It's a word that works on multiple levels.
Okay, let's hear those examples.
So think about a science experiment, right? Where you demonstrate how two magnets are magnetically attracted to each other. Or maybe you meet someone with a magnetic personality. They just effortlessly draw people in with their warmth and their charm. And then, of course, you could describe a stunning landscape as magnetic. Its beauty pulls you in and makes you want to explore further.
I like that. It's that irresistible pull, whether it's physical or like you said, a personality.
It's a force that's hard to resist.
Okay, what about magnificent? I'm picturing something grand and awe-inspiring.
It conveys a sense of splendor and grandeur, describing something truly exceptional.
Yeah, something that leaves us speechless with admiration. Can we have some examples?
Okay, imagine this, right? You're standing on a mountaintop, gazing at a magnificent vista that stretches as far as the eye can see. Or maybe you visit a historical palace, and you're marveling at its magnificent architecture and those intricate details. You could even describe a musical performance as magnificent, the musician's virtuosity leaving the audience in awe.
Yeah, those are great examples. It's about those experiences that just stay with you.
Moments that leave a lasting impression.
Okay, magnitude. This one makes me think of something vast and powerful, like a natural disaster, or a major historical event.
You're on the right track. Magnitude refers to the great size or extent of something. It often implies a significant impact or importance.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about size, but also about significance, the weight it carries.
Exactly. It's about scale and significance combined.
Okay, that makes sense. Can we have some examples to illustrate?
So imagine scientists, right? They're measuring the magnitude of an earthquake. They use the Richter scale to quantify its power and destructive potential. Or you're discussing a social movement, and you talk about the magnitude of its impact on society, highlighting the widespread changes it brought about. And in the business world, you might hear about a company, right? Achieving a milestone of great magnitude, marking a significant accomplishment in their history.
Wow, those are great examples. It really shows how magnitude captures both the size and the impact of something.
It's a word that emphasizes the weight and importance of what's being described.
Okay, mainland. When I hear this word, I instantly picture a large landmass, like a continent, as opposed to an island.
Exactly. Mainland refers to the principal landmass of a region. You're distinguishing it from surrounding islands or smaller land areas.
Oh, so it's about the primary land area.
Yeah, the core landmass that everything else revolves around.
Okay, that makes sense. Can we have some examples of mainland used in a sentence?
Sure. Think about travelers taking a ferry. From this picturesque island to the bustling mainland where they'll find a wider range of amenities and services. Or you're reading a historical account of explorers venturing from that familiar European mainland to uncharted territories across the ocean. And in a geographical context, you might talk about how a bridge connects a coastal city to the mainland, facilitating transportation and trade.
Those are great examples. It really highlights how mainland distinguishes the main landmass from the surrounding areas.
It's about the central hub, the primary land base.
Okay, mainstream. Now, this is a word you hear a lot these days, especially when we talk about popular culture and societal trends.
Yeah, mainstream is all about what's considered conventional, right?
Yeah.
Widely accepted by the majority. Mainstream ideas, mainstream products or beliefs, they're those that have gained widespread popularity and are often seen as the norm.
Oh, so it's the opposite of niche or alternative, like what's considered normal or typical.
Exactly. It's the heart of what's popular and widely embraced.
Okay, can you give us some examples to clarify this concept of mainstream?
Okay. Imagine a movie that becomes a mainstream hit, appealing to a broad audience, topping the box office charts. Or maybe you're discussing a musical genre, and it transitions from being underground to becoming mainstream. It's gained widespread recognition and airplay. And then in the world of fashion, you might talk about how certain styles or trends become mainstream, and they're adopted by people from all walks of life.
I see. So it's about what's considered popular and widely accepted. It's interesting to think about how things can shift from being niche to mainstream,
Yeah, and sometimes that shift can happen really quickly. Trends can change rapidly, and what was once considered alternative can suddenly become mainstream.
All right, we're in the home stretch now. Only a few words left. Okay, next up, maintenance. And I immediately think of things like car repairs and home upkeep.
Yeah, you're right on target. Maintenance is all about keeping things in good working order, whether it's a car, a building, or even a relationship.
Oh, so it's about preserving things, preventing them from falling apart.
Exactly. It's about regular care and attention to prevent problems from arising.
Okay, can we have some examples to illustrate this idea of maintenance?
Sure. Think of a homeowner diligently performing routine maintenance on their house, like cleaning the gutters, mowing the lawn, repainting faded trim, or maybe you're reading an article about the importance of regular car maintenance, things like oil changes, tire rotations, brake inspections. And in the software world, updates and patches are a crucial part of maintenance, ensuring that those programs run smoothly and securely.
That makes sense. It's about keeping everything running smoothly, whether it's a physical object or a digital system. Okay, 2 words left. What about major? I instantly think of things that are, important or significant.
Exactly. Major emphasizes something's importance or impact distinguishing it from something minor or insignificant.
Oh, so it's about highlighting something's prominence or weight.
Exactly. It's about what stands out as significant.
Okay, can we hear some examples of major used in a sentence?
Sure. Imagine a student celebrating a major accomplishment, like graduating with honors or receiving a prestigious scholarship. Or maybe you're reading a news story about a company making a major breakthrough in medical research, potentially leading to a cure for a devastating disease. And in the realm of personal development, you might talk about someone making a major life decision, like changing careers or moving to a new city.
Okay, those are great examples. It really emphasizes how major highlights those turning points or really impactful events.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, we have makeup. Now, I'm thinking of cosmetics, but I have a feeling this word has more to offer.
You're absolutely right. Makeup can refer to the cosmetics people use to enhance their appearance, but it can also describe the composition or constituents of something.
Oh, so it's about physical appearance, but also the elements that form something.
Exactly. Two different meanings packed into one word.
Okay, I like that. So can you give us some examples to clarify both meanings of makeup?
Sure. So imagine a makeup artist skillfully applying eyeshadow, foundation, and lipstick to create a flawless look for a client. Or maybe you're reading a scientific article that analyzes the makeup of a particular alloy, detailing the percentages of different metals it contains. And in a broader sense, you might talk about the diverse makeup of a community, highlighting the various cultural backgrounds and perspectives represented within it.
Wow, those are really different examples, but they all make sense in their own context. That's fascinating.
Language is full of surprises. One word can hold so much meaning depending on how it's used.
Okay, on to our final word for today. Making. Now, that seems pretty straightforward, but I'm curious to hear your take on it.
Making is a word that captures the essence of creation and process. It refers to the act of bringing something into existence, whether it's a physical object, a work of art, or even a complex plan.
Oh, so it's about the action and effort behind creation.
Exactly. It's about the process, the journey of bringing something new into the world.
Okay, I like that. So can you give us some examples to clarify this concept of making?
Absolutely. Think of a documentary, right? And it takes you behind the scenes to show the making of a blockbuster film, revealing the intricate details and the collaborative efforts involved. Or maybe you attend a craft fair and you're just marveling at the intricate handmade goods, appreciating the skill and artistry that went into their making. And in a more abstract sense, you might discuss the making of a political decision, exploring the various factors and influences that shaped its outcome.
Those are great examples. It shows how making goes beyond just the finished product. It's about the whole process, the journey.
It's about the story behind the creation.
Okay, well, that wraps up our deep dive today. 30 words down, countless more to explore.
And what's exciting is that these 30 words are just the beginning. Now it's up to you to take them out into the world and start using them.
Exactly. Don't let these words gather dust in your vocabulary notebook. Experiment with them, have fun with them, and see how they can enrich your communication.
And if you come up with any interesting sentences, we'd love to hear them.
Absolutely. Share your creativity with us.
Until next time, happy word exploring.
Happy word exploring.